All right, friends, it's T-Men, and it's time for a video on Team Blaha, Team Client Mathias. That's right. This gym lifting slave. Anyways, we're going to do a reaction video to this video. So, Team Blaha Client Mathias, Metal AF Vlog Part 11. Oh, I can't wait.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for my client Mathias' training vlog, but a just quick reminder, if you guys would please click like down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. Please follow or subscribe if you aren't already, and drop me a comment.
All right, off the bat, he's doing a bench press here. Very common, okay. Full range of motion.
We're still keeping with the same basic pattern for now with him. We're running the 4-day split, a little bit of exercise changes here and there as needed.
All right, absolutely nothing wrong with that, doing full range of motion. I mean, it's taking his time with it, okay. Do you need a full range of motion? If your goal is to build muscle, do you need a full range of motion in bench pressing? No, not necessarily. You want to make the exercise as difficult as possible in the eccentric. But I'm not saying you can't get damage doing a full range of motion. You would have to add astronomically numerous amounts of sets to try to eke out some of damage there. See what I mean? Remember, the weight is still going down. So, yeah, you'd have to stick to a rep range of 8 to 12. That's all, really. But if you're doing like just a few sets and then that's it and you run away, well, you haven't really damaged anything, because remember, these muscles, they're resilient from being damaged. That's why you're able to handle heavier loads in the eccentric. The heavier the load the eccentric, the more it pulls on the muscle to cause it to damage. That's the difference between concentric, eccentric. Eccentric squeezes muscles, and eccentric pulls muscle to cause it to damage, that's where all the growth happens. It causes it to micro damage at the bottom, not the top. It's kind of obvious. But can you get damage doing a full range of motion on the bench press? Yes, but you're going to have to add astronomically high amounts of sets.
And I'm aware a lot of his programming gets boring, but he's an advanced drug-free lifter.
There you go. What did Blaha say in his last video? That advanced lifters do not build muscles. He says he's an advanced lifter. So if Mathias is coming into the gym to try, because I saw this video, he says he's coming in to build muscle. Well, if that's true, then he's not building muscles, because according to Blaha in his last video, right, lifters they're not building muscles. He says advanced lifters, look, I don't remember which one it was here. I don't know where that, was it alive? It's this one, right? Reps don't stimulate muscle growth in advanced lifters. See that? Eccentric reps do not stimulate muscle in advanced lifters. Look. This is the one. Hold on a second. So right there at the top, he says, popular opinion, eccentric reps do not stimulate muscle growth. But that's the only thing that stimulates muscle growth, is the eccentric, not concentric. So, yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here.
See.
And please leave me a comment down below. I would greatly...
Whatever.
Eccentric reps, and I'm going to tend to agree with that. But before I even jump in and discuss the evidence, people are...
Wait, I missed that.
Oh gosh, Chris Beardsley point out that the data on this, there actually isn't any evidence that advanced lifters grow at all from eccentric reps, and I'm going to tend to agree with that.
See, he agrees with that. They do not lift from eccentric reps at all, advanced lifters. So how do they grow if they don't grow from eccentric reps? Because that's the only thing that damages muscles. Remember, in the lengthened position, it's pulling on your muscle. Squeezing muscles don't build muscles. Whoa, hold on a second. So this guy, he said that this guy's an advanced lifter, so what's the point of lifting?
Base, pulls 5 plates, squats 4.5 plates. Changes are going to be...
Missed that, hold on.
And I'm aware a lot of his programming gets boring, but he's an advanced drug-free lifter with a strength base.
See, an advanced drug-free lifter. So advanced lifters, they cannot build muscles eccentrically. So what is the point of coming into the gym and lifting?
Pulls 5 plates, squats 4.5 plates.
See, Mr. Mathias, I don't think you're aware. Blaha has just admitted that advanced lifters do not build muscles eccentrically, and you're lifting eccentrically and concentrically, but it's the eccentric that causes the muscle. That's where all the muscle growth happens. See what I mean? So why are you lifting? What's the point of going to the gym? Might as well stay home, watch TV.
Change is going to be slow. It's going to be slow. And that's just going to be the nature of the game with what we do for him.
Okay.
And that's just realistically going to be expected. So we accept that as, the nature of the beast. So, well, what we're doing right now with his training, pretty straightforward on his press day. We do 3 sets of bench press. My prescribed weight, he just does sets across at the moment. Again, keeping in mind at the moment, he doesn't care about his bench other than just building muscle.
Rebird lets you trade in your used gear.
But again, keeping in mind at the moment, he doesn't care about his bench other than just building muscle. He cares about his overhead press.
See, he doesn't care about his bench, just building muscle. But he's an advanced lifter. Advanced lifters, according to Blaha, do not build muscles, bro. Get it? Eccentrically.
About his deadlift, his squat. Those are the lifts he really cares about personally. Philosophically, He doesn't compete in powerlifting. So he likes that. And also because, again, plays in a metal band, plays...
I can guarantee you, it's been 11 weeks now, right? He's been lifting 11 weeks. I have yet to see any building muscle in this video, just like all the other fake clients Blaha had in his videos. Remember those women and everything? Where's their muscle? They never progressed in any of the videos. In any of them. None of them. That's why they quit. They got a 0 because they're adapted to their exercises.
He's sleeveless a lot. He likes to be...
He is adapted to this exercise. He is never building anything.
So we do put a lot of effort into the delts and things like that. So again, that overhead press and even in the incline, help with that.
This is the most useless exercise. I don't even know why people do this in the gym. Man. This is a useless exercise. You might as well just do fucking pull-ups. Stick to some pull-ups and dips. At least there, even if you're the shittiest lifter in the world, it'll force your muscle to tear apart eccentrically. But like I said, according to Blaha, advanced lifters do not build muscles eccentrically. Okay.
In addition to the fact we have a whole shoulder day. So for the chest and tricep day, it's 3 sets of bench, 3 sets of incline. Then we do pullovers, and then we do tricep press downs. And in his case, that's enough volume. We don't keep his volumes crazy high. We don't need to.
Okay.
Keeping in mind, because of a lot of stuff he does a lot of gigs, a lot of practice.
Sure.
We're not trying to have him cramp up or anything when he's up sweating and doing those things. So I always keep his volumes a little moderate, and so we never push the bleeding edge of his volumes. We just simply don't. It's not necessary. Nor is it even desirable for our goals. He just wants to be big and strong, wants to look big and strong, and like a big, thick guy. He wants to look like a barbarian, which means
He wants to look like a big, thick guy, like a barbarian. Look at his exercises. They're all concentric. Look at him. He's just squeezing his muscles. It's just a waste of time. But again, of course, I forgot. According to Blaha, advanced lifters do not build muscles. So why is he lifting? He says he's coming in to build muscle. He doesn't really care about lifting. This doesn't make any sense.
Need to be able to lift big weights to do that, and we do. And then we fill in the gaps with hypertrophy work. So you'll notice in general...
Fill in the gaps with hypertrophy work? What is hypertrophy work? What is that? What is hypertrophy work? What is this gaps?
New to these vlogs, we focus a lot on big movements, and then we fill in the gaps.
We focus a lot on big movements, and then we fill in the gaps? That made absolutely no sense. He's not lifting heavy. He's just pretending. And even if he was, he's just not doing it properly anyways. It doesn't really matter. Look at his back, the way he's bent. Look at him. He looks like he's about to take a crap. And look at his arms. His elbows are not at the side of his body. They're like way out there somewhere. I don't know, whatever. This is just weird.
So it's like, so we do all those movements, squat, bench, deadlift, incline.
Yes. The heavier you go concentrically, yes, the more they're going to grow magically. Okay.
overhead press,
Yeah,
pull-ups.
sure.
Okay? And then we come in, it's like, okay, let's get some triceps in, some curls, some side delts, a little hamstring work, so on and so forth.
Okay, this is not so bad. You know what I mean? This is like you could call this like a deadlift, a bodybuilding deadlift.
So again, we just fill in the gaps, just to fill everything out. Now, right now, because he's had some lower back fatigue, that's been playing a little bit of havoc. We pulled the heavy.
He's had some back fatigue. The back has fatigued. So he hasn't fatigued, the back has. Okay.
Deadlifts out, and I have him just doing Romanian deadlifts, which he got.
Romanian deadlifts. Why don't you just call it what it is, man? Bodybuilding deadlifts.
Rep PR. So now that we're not deadlifting first, he's using 3 plates. He got 12 reps. Normally he gets 3 by 10. He got 12 on one of the sets. So again, we're actually seeing some nice muscle there. And as I've reminded him, as long as we build the muscle and we do some other heavy squatting to keep the neural drive up, his deadlift's going to be big.
So as long as you build the muscle, the neural drive and everything will be up, whatever. But he's not building muscle, Blaha, because he's an advanced lifter. Advanced lifters, they don't build muscles eccentrically.
As soon as we work.
Oh, I know. They build muscle concentrically. Is that it? Right? I think I'm bro, look, guys, if I'm wrong, please write in the comment section, because honestly, I don't really understand what Blah's trying to say. He says advanced lifters do not build muscles eccentrically. So where do they build? Concentrically? Is that where they build them? They build them by ass cheek squeezing them? Okay.
Deadlift back in.
Can somebody write to me how muscles build concentrically? How do they build there?
Especially if he's getting some PRs a little bit on this stuff, we're good. So his pull day here.
So as long as he gets PRs, they will grow. If you get a PR, they'll grow? Okay.
In RDLs, we do glute ham raises, and then we focus on back and bicep work. So this is his longest day. And because of like scheduling and everything that we do, we've structured this to be his most difficult day.
I understand now what Blaha was saying. So advanced lifters do not build muscles eccentrically; they build them concentrically. That's why they're small, strong guys running around. Yeah. Okay, I understand now. I get it.
So we do all the pulling type muscles all at once. So again, we do any deadlifting, any hamstring work, and then we do back and biceps. So again, he's usually in the gym the longest here, so this is our longest, most difficult day. Whereas in the shoulder day, the next one is really easy. He can work it in really easy around scheduling. So we kind of do it that way. So afterwards, we do pull-ups.
Well, at least he's doing pull-ups, because that's going to it's going to put you in a forced position of stretching. Yes. Okay. Especially eccentrically, but he's an advanced lifter. He's not getting damaged doing these.
So again, he doesn't use any weight on these because of his body.
In his research, Dr. Morrison identified.
Okay.
So again, he doesn't use any weight on these because of his body weight. He's over 200 pounds.
No.
And so.
So he's over 200 pounds. So he doesn't need to use weight. He just uses his body weight. Okay. Got it.
Again, in his case, we just rep these out. And, some days he gets 9 or 10 reps, so we're good there. So we just do 3 sets pretty much to failure of body weight pull-ups.
3 sets to failure. How many reps did he do? 5?
And then we go over to a little bit easier stuff like dumbbell rows to build the rest of the lats, the upper back, everything. And we rotate different stuff. I know people are like, man, he's been doing pull-ups and the dumbbell rows a little while in the vlogs. Yeah, but we do barbell rows. We do other stuff.
Wow, is that an arm exercise? His arm is bending so much. People think that you have to squeeze with your elbow. They think this is a squeezing exercise. Like you bring your arm up and then you squeeze with your elbow into the muscle. Squeezing a muscle doesn't make it damage or grow. You understand why I try to teach people how to do these exercises properly using your arm? Squeezing muscles with your elbow all the way in like that it's ass cheek squeezing. Now people understand. Maybe people will get it through their head eventually. I don't know, man. They just don't know how to lift weights. They go on the pull-up bar, right? They stretch themselves out on the pull-up bar, right? You know what I mean? Because you're in a stretch position. But then when they do these rows, they're like they're ass cheek squeezing. Christ, man! Like they just don't think in their head like what the hell they're doing or what this exercise is for. Like, come on.
You know, in
Look,
different
ass cheek
phases, there were
squeeze.
times when we had him doing a lot of pin leg
Attaboy.
rows. There were times we had him doing a lot of bent over rows.
Yeah.
Other times we were doing chins instead of the pull-ups. Lat pull.
Is that a kettlebell? I don't even know what that is he's pulling there. It looks funny, but whatever.
Downs in certain phases instead, you know, if he's feeling a little beat up from some of that. So it's stuff that we vary, and I know it seems like
I mean, I just saw this thing by one guy. He like put all these weights on there and everything, and he's like pulling with one arm. He's pulling with his arm and not his back because it's all show. He slaps on all this weight on this machine, like, you know, those rowing machines. You can put like these 45-pound plates on it and you row it from the top. So he put more of these weights on top of it. It's like, it looked like one of those ego lifting videos, and he just kept pulling with his arm. It's a back exercise, dude. But he kept pulling with his arm, squeezing. Ridiculous. Trying to make it appear like, look, I'm so strong, I can move all this weight, when in fact you're just using your arm.
some of the vlogs are like, man, you only change a little stuff here and there. And that's true. And we really just change it for overuse purposes. For him, if stuff starts to hurt a little bit, we adjust it. So after that, we come over, we do 2 types of curls.
Watch. He brings it up to here, right? And then he ass cheek squeezes it. Watch. It goes up really easy right there. He stresses it to squeeze it really hard. Watch. Pay attention to how people do these exercises.
This case was because we're not doing
down
chins. We're not doing stuff like that. We
There.
do want to keep the curls a little higher.
See that? And then he ass cheek squeezes that at the top concentrically. It goes down really easy. There's no eccentric here at all whatsoever.
The other day is we're doing all the pullovers and
Oh, I
press.
forgot. He doesn't need eccentric because he's not building any muscle eccentrically, right? He's an advanced lifter. So advanced lifters, they build muscles concentrically. Okay. I'm so confused, man. I'm so confused. Okay.
And we would have overhead press later. Only do one time the tricep. You guys saw in other phases we did
I mean,
2
look at this weight. It's like what, 10 pounds or 5 pounds on each side? 5 pounds on each side in the bar. Okay.
tricep exercises. But I felt like I wanted to get some pullovers in also for it to mix chest and tricep together. It still gets the long head. So at some phases we do a couple different tricep movements. So for biceps right now we're doing just a straight barbell curl, and then he does incline curls. Now incline curls is one of those that he loves. He always points out every time I take it away and rotate it, he's like, please put it back in, coach. So we're just going to leave incline curls in forever.
The one thing you must watch out is overworking your bicep. Remember, a lot of the times your biceps are engaged on the pull-ups and things like that. So you need to be very careful. You do not want to overwork your muscle. You definitely want to damage it to grow, but you could overwork it, which could shrink it. It will start doing the opposite of what you're trying to do. But yeah.
He gets a good pump and burn on them. He's like,
He gets a good pump and burn on them. So as they go up really easy eccentrically because they're light. Watch.
really feel a lot of
This is the eccentric part to the isometric, right there.
bicep activation on this.
Right there. So it went up really, really easy. So this is where he has trouble and he squeezes it. Bang.
And I think a good rule.
Right there. Ooh, he really gave it a good one, eh? So that's where it's building for him at the concentric. He's building concentric muscles, not eccentrically. Got it.
And this is something I would say
Here
to
it comes.
anybody.
Watch him squeeze at the
Occasionally
top.
You got to change stuff
And then,
for overuse, but if you have just
yeah.
one exercise
Attaboy.
that really hits that spot as an isolation movement for a muscle,
Attaboy. That's it. 2 sets. That's it. 1 set. Okay.
right? And you're like, every time you do it, you feel that area burn, and then when you take it out, you can't quite replicate that effect. That means for
Well, this is pretty good. I mean, he's really good at lifting these weights. I could tell you that. He's good at lifting them for sure.
you personally, that's probably a really, really good exercise. So in his case,
I mean, if you're trying to build muscle, do you need to do this full range? If you're trying to build muscle. Now, if you're just trying to show like you could do it full range, okay, that's totally different. But if you're trying to build muscle, right? Oh, I forgot. Advanced lifters, they don't build muscles eccentrically. But in my case, I guess I'm not an advanced lifter. I build it eccentrically, so I don't need to go full range up if I'm trying to damage the muscle eccentrically to get it to build. See what I mean? You understand, when you go to the gym, it's not for show and tell. You're just going there because you're trying to do what? You're trying to build muscle. So if you're trying to build muscle, you need to be you need to use the most effective range of motion to build muscle, to get this damage to build muscle, which is what? Eccentric. But according to Blaha, advanced lifters do not build muscle eccentrically. Okay.
He's always like, I really feel that exercise. It's like even when I give him preacher curl.
He's getting tired at the top. Did you see that? He was like, it was going up. He's like, you're getting tired, exhausted now. That's what happens. Concentric exercises, they exhaust you.
He's like, I don't feel the bicep the same.
And they shrink you. They exhaust and shrink you. If you were to run up a stairwell every day, let's say you lived in a building and you ran up the stairwell to the, you took the elevator down. You didn't run down the steps. You just ran up the steps. Well, you're going to get an association. There's going to be a loss in series, in the sarcomeres in series, running up a stairwell. I'm not joking. Yeah.
So what does that tell us? That means for him personally,
You'll lose sarcomeres. You'll lose muscle.
the incline curl is just a flat winner. And I mean, it's a popular exercise for a good reason. A lot of classic bodybuilders loved it. It's a shoulder day. We do overhead press. We do some lateral raises, and we do some rear delt work, and then we do some abs. This is usually a fast workout. He's out of there in less than 30 minutes. So again, on this, we just worry about.
Okay, this is good. He's pulling all the way across. You don't see too many people doing that. Well, that's not going to do much. That's not going to do much because it's too light.
We don't worry about going heavy. It's like we do all this other heavy work. We do heavy work.
This is too light. This is too light. It's not going to do anything.
So always set him on the laterals and stuff. Just go strict. Just get a burn.
Right there. Look at the weight he's using.
Get a burn there. He's basically reaching failure. He can't even move.
Look at the weight he's using. 5 to 15 pounds, 10 pounds, 10, 15 pounds. I don't know. That's nothing. That's not going to do anything for your shoulder. He's really just squeezing. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, concentrically, right? He's building concentrically.
So I'm like, just burn the hell out of the delts. Just chase a pump, get a burn.
See, just chase the pump. Just chase the pump and get a burn. So they're pump training. Concentric pump sarcoplasmic training. Got it.
Just finish them off. That's all we care about.
Adapted sarcoplasmic pump training concentrically. Yes, now I understand.
All right, and then we get to his lower body day. We start with back squats. Then we do
his lower body day? What do you mean lower body day? What is this? He did his upper body. Now he's doing his lower body? But he barely did anything doing the upper body. He just did like a few things.
leg presses. This week I have him doing single leg because again the back was fatigued. So I'm like, okay, let's not do the.
I don't know how deep does he go here. It doesn't look that deep. Doesn't look eccentrically. But then again, he doesn't have to do that because he's an advanced lifter.
2 legs. Let's take you over to 1 leg. 1, you don't have to load as many
See
plates.
how far he goes.
2, it doesn't put quite.
Yeah, that's not eccentric. But then again, he doesn't need it.
Too much stress on the low back like you were getting, so I backed his squats down a little. Normally he does 4 plates for triples there when we're doing them, but backed it off just a hair to let that recover.
Yeah, you know the thing with like pressing legs, you never get eccentrics in here. You have to actually place your toes all the way down at the bottom and press with your toes and make your knees like literally touch and your heels touch the back of your butt.
And then he does his leg presses, he does leg extensions, and then we do calf raises. And then we call it, he does abs almost.
See, with the leg press, these are concentric. These are concentric presses. There's no eccentric here. Your heels would have to touch the back of your butt.
These days, I just didn't put a lot of the footage in. This vlog would be too long. So that after the leg presses, we finish up with a leg.
You want to know why? Because people find it uncomfortable and difficult, and they like to show off. They want to put a lot of weight on there and show off. Look how much I can press. When in fact, it's not about how much you can press. You have to grow with the weight eccentrically. So you really want to put all effort into it. You want to start with you being able to hit your back of your heels, putting your feet down at the bottom there, and the back of your heels touching your butt eccentrically, so you could start building muscle, and then you grow with the weight. See what I mean? You don't get stronger lifting the weight concentrically. You get getting better lifting. You want to grow with the weight eccentrically. But I forget he's advanced lifter.
Extensions. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Yes, it's been very informative. I just don't understand any of this. I don't get any of this. He's doing one leg now? No, he's not doing one leg. I don't know what he's doing. This looks like bullshit. Okay, this is bullshit too. He's like pressing at the top. Look at him putting all the effort. Concentric pressing. Watch. Ass cheek squeezing. Does people not understand that ass cheek squeezing at the top doesn't do anything but shorten the sarcomere? You don't want to shorten it. Yeah, okay. I mean, I read a study they did recently, 2024 study about sarcomeres, and something, I think, specific exercise that we're using. They were testing something there, and they said that it was hard for them to find I don't know, they were having a problem with in parallel. They can see in series, but they couldn't figure out how the lift would go up 40%. You know, how do you they got stronger 40%, but there must be in parallel there, because for that force production to go up 40%, there must be in parallel, not just series. See what I mean? And they thought that the muscle was like subtracting the parallel to grow more series. But in fact, they both grow the same, really. Honestly, in exercise, when you're doing eccentric exercise, you're growing them in series and in parallel, because it's compensating. It must compensate for the force production. It has to, because we're always, when we're initiating, you could call that you're initiating eccentrically, but it's still at the bottom, it's still you're initiating, it's concentric. It's a concentric initiation, but it's eccentric because it's pulling on the muscle just as you're getting to the isometric. See what I mean? But anyway, this was interesting. This guy is, I don't know what he's doing. But I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel.